The gates close quietly behind you, and suddenly the noise of the modern world feels far away. The air is still, heavy with memory. These places were never meant to be stages, yet they draw visitors the way old films still draw audiences decades later. Golden Age Hollywood gave the world glamour, romance, and illusion. But when the lights went out for the final time, many of its brightest stars were laid to rest in silence. Or so people believed. Because over the years, stories began to surface. Whispers from caretakers, unexplained moments, feelings that something unfinished remained. And slowly, the idea took hold that some Hollywood legends never truly left. First grave lies beneath tall trees, where shadows stretch long even at midday. Visitors often describe a strange calm here, followed by sudden sadness they can't explain. People come to pay respect, but many leave shaken, saying the air feels heavier the longer they stand. Some claim they hear faint humming late in the afternoon, as if a melody from another time is being replayed. There's no proof, only repetition. The same story told by strangers who have never met, all describing the same feeling of presence, of memory refusing to fade. Not far away rests another star, one whose life ended too suddenly for the world to accept. Fans still leave flowers decades later, and caretakers say the offerings never stop. At night, security guards have reported seeing movement near the grave, shadows shifting without explanation. Some say the heartbreak surrounding this figure was so intense that it left an imprint, as if grief itself settled into the ground. Whether imagined or not, many visitors say standing there feels like intruding on something deeply personal. Another grave sits in a quieter corner, rarely visited by tourists. This star faded from fame before the world was ready to let go, and some believe that loneliness followed them even in death. People who stumble upon the site often report a sudden drop in temperature, even on warm days. Cameras malfunction. Phones lose signal. Skeptics dismiss it as coincidence, but those who experience it describe an overwhelming sense of isolation, as if the silence itself is watching. Then there is the second grave, the one many people struggle to talk about without lowering their voice. This star's life was marked by love that never quite lasted, by applause that hid deep personal pain. Fans say that standing near the grave brings an unexpected wave of emotion, sometimes strong enough to cause tears without warning. Caretakers have quietly admitted that they avoid this area late at night, not because of fear, but because of sorrow. One caretaker described the feeling as standing near someone who wants to speak, but no longer can. It's not frightening. It's devastating. Further along, another Golden Age legend rests beneath a polished marker that gleams in the sun. During the day, the site feels peaceful. At dusk, however, visitors have reported hearing faint footsteps approaching, only to find no one there. Some say the presence feels protective, almost watchful. This star was known for strength on screen, for characters who stood their ground, and some believe its strength never faded. Whether imagined or not, many leave feeling oddly reassured, as if watched over rather than threatened. One grave draws attention because of its simplicity. No grand monument, no elaborate inscription, just a name that once meant everything. Visitors often say the quiet here feels unnatural, as if sound itself avoids the area. Wind seems to stop, birds fall silent. People report the sensation of being observed, not aggressively, but intently. This star was known for mystery and life, and perhaps it's fitting that mystery followed them into rest. Another resting place has become the subject of late night stories among cemetery staff. This star's life was filled with contradictions, public smiles hiding private struggle. Some believe that unresolved emotion lingers, not as anger, but as restlessness. Visitors say the area feels unsettled, as if something is still searching for peace. One of the most visited graves belongs to a figure whose image was frozen in time. Youth, beauty, and promise captured forever. Fans speak softly here, instinctively, lowering their voices. Many claim that photographs taken nearby sometimes show unusual blurs or light distortions. Skeptics point to camera flaws. Believers point to the fact that this star's story never had a proper ending. And stories without endings tend to echo. The final grave sits near the edge of the cemetery, partially hidden, as if intentionally, overlooked. This star's life was marked by resilience, by survival in an industry that consumes so many. It's not fear that lingers here. It's exhaustion, the kind that comes from a life lived under constant pressure. What connects these places isn't proof. There are no recordings that confirm voices, no images that definitively show figures in the night. What connects them is repetition. Story after story, told by people with nothing to gain, describing the same sensations: sadness, presence, stillness. That feels alive. And perhaps that's the most haunting part of all. Golden Age Hollywood sold the world dreams. When those lives ended, the emotions didn't simply disappear. They were remembered, retold, and revisited. And they'll tell you something undeniable. These places don't feel empty. They feel full of stories that refuse to be forgotten. Even when the cameras stop rolling, maybe what people sense isn't spirits, but echoes. Echoes of lives lived intensely, of hearts broken under bright lights, of identities shaped by roles that never quite let go. It's meant to remind us that behind every glamorous image was a human being, hoping to be remembered not for the illusion, but for the truth hidden beneath it.